Hey there, Factoids. It's your boy Lex here, back again for part two of 90's pop culture talk. And joining me and John this time is my awesome cosplay buddy, Tyler. Hey, Tyler, we all missed you.
Oh, you didn't know?
Ding, 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 ding.
You know your ass better call somebody.
Hey, man, come on now. Don't make me cosplay as the road dog again.
Yeah. No, you do that, I'll go as Billy Gunn.
You really want to be called Mr. Ass? Do you?
No, I prefer badass Billy Gunn, but oh, whatever. I never understood why he went with that, but whatever. It is what it is. Then there was that phase where he went as the one Billy Gunn.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, me and John talked about 90s pop culture. Yeah, and sorry about the late cutoff. Out of nowhere, I was running out of space, so I found a new place that holds a lot of space. Everything is situated, and we left off where me and John was talking about Super Mario Brothers Super Show cartoon.
Oh God, I actually love that show.
Of all the places, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side.
Yeah.
I can't get that theme out of my head.
Yeah, and I told John that Danielle found the complete series of Legend of Zelda cartoon for like $4. Yeah, $4.
Wow, $4. Holy crap!
Hey, we found a Super Mario Bros. Super Show at this one retro gaming convention in Fort Worth like 3 years ago. He sold it to us for like $1.
Man, you guys get so lucky with some finds.
Hey, we like to go thrifting.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot to tell you this, John and Tyler. Yeah, everybody goes to the usual suspects for cartoons, but me, I also watch the obscure cartoons, especially the superhero cartoons, like this, for instance.
Oh man, how did
Yeah.
When was there an Iron Man?
I never actually saw that, but I was familiar with it.
And you want to know what's awesome? The guy who does the voice of Iron Man / Tony Stark, is the guy who plays Stryker from Airplane.
Oh, Robert Hayes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And also after when Iron Man goes off, this cartoon comes on.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
You want to know what's awesome? That on the very first episode of the Fantastic Four cartoon, they was on a talk show, and the talk show host was voiced by the late great what's his name? Dick Clark. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I really miss watching the ball drops that he hosted.
Yeah, I still remember the last year he was on there. Like, oh man, why did they let him do this? Like, he should be home resting.
Yeah, I remember that. But I mean, he did it for so long.
I know.
And then the next year, right after he passed away, I'm watching one where they do it without him. Like going, oh, this feels weird.
It does. And other than that, John, once again, any other cartoons or TV shows you remember watching in the 90s?
We were talking a little bit last time about like the superhero ones, and I like those a lot.
Yeah.
And also, I liked Animaniacs. I'm glad they brought that back. I thought that was kind of fun. That was something I would watch with my family, like on like Saturday morning or Sunday morning, whenever it came on. We watched Tiny Toons after school, my brother and I. That was also kind of a thing we did together.
Yeah.
But a lot of Fox, I guess. I don't know. We just watched cartoons.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of Fox Kids after school. I mean, there was Tiny Toons, the Batman animated series, Animaniacs, and of course Tasmania. That was a fun one.
Tasmania, that was the cartoon right there for me because all those wacky characters, even the Platypus brothers.
Oh yes, Daniel and Timothy, the Platypus brothers. And then Wendell T. Wolf was another one.
And that idiotic douchebag Dingo. Mm.
Oh God, Didgeridingo. I did not. Nobody liked that character. And then there was the owner of the hotel who kind of cracked me up, Bushwhacker Bob.
Yeah, and also like in the late 90s, yeah, everybody loved the Batman the Animated Series, but you want to know what I enjoyed when I got home from school? I always watched this.
Ah, yes, that was a good one. Yes, that was a great. Yeah, I really thought that was cool. I mean, right after season 3 was done, they started to go to Superman next, and then shortly after they combined season 2 with season 4 of Batman.
Yeah, and like around season 3 or 4 of Batman the Animated Series, they used the art style of the Adventures of Superman, where everybody look all blocky. But I was like,
well, yeah, and the Batman one, the Batman season is kind of referred to as the Red Sky season now.
yeah. Every time when I see that, I was like, why is the sky red? Like, is it the end of time or something?
Uh huh.
What did you think of that season, John?
It's just weird. I mean, I liked when Batman the Animated Series started out. That was some of the most impressive animation I ever saw at the time. Like simple effects,
yes.
like they'd project something on a screen, and you see somebody walk in front of it, and you actually see like, the reflection of the projection kind of like
Yeah.
move on them. Like that was crazy. And then it's almost kind of like a downgrade after that, like in the seasons further in. So I don't know if it's too much or what happened, but they changed it for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, as far as details go, yeah, it kind of did feel like a bit of a downgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I was so happy I got the Batman the Animated Series for Blu-ray for a good price at Best Buy.
Yeah, thanks.
I've got the first 3 seasons on DVD box sets over here. I still watch them occasionally.
Yeah, and I told and Tyler, I told John about Batman Beyond, and I told him like how it ended abruptly. It's like 2 seasons. That's all it got because it got too real for everybody.
Well, yeah, but they finally did manage to give the show an actual finale. That was an exclusive episode that was part of Justice League Unlimited.
Oh, you talking about where Terry become an actual like Superman invites him to the Justice League?
No. That happened in season 2. That was actually that happened one. No, there was one episode where, okay, Terry McGinnis is actually a little more beefier. He's in his 20s at this point, and
yeah, I know what you're talking about now. It's on Unlimited. Yeah.
And old man Bruce, he's practically got no hair at this point. I think he's 100 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is the episode where you see Terry McGinnis breaking into Amanda Waller's place.
That's the one. Yeah, and they do. Amanda Waller was a featured character in that episode.
And yeah, and I said to myself like, and they're talking. Then she told me that like the world needs a Batman, and I'm like, why? Why? Why?
Uh-huh.
And at the end, you see Terry talking to his girlfriend, but he woke her up accidentally because she was still asleep, but he was about to propose to her. I was like, wow.
Oh boy. Uh-huh, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. I gotta admit, Terry had a hot girlfriend. Dana was hot.
Oh yeah. You remember that episode? You want to know what one of my favorite episodes from Batman Beyond was when he go against the Royal Flush King. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. And going back to superhero cartoons, did y'all enjoy the Justice League?
Yes.
Justice League Unlimited?
Didn't know there was a Justice League cartoon. I don't remember that at all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I mean, Well, for one thing, it did introduce me to Martian Manhunter, which I didn't know a thing about until that show came on, and it also introduced me to the third Green Lantern, John Stewart, who has actually jumped up to one of my favorites in the Green Lantern. I mean, I like Hal Jordan.
I was gonna say, I thought he was John Stewart was the second.
No. Okay. No, well, I'm talking about the Green Lantern Corps in general. I mean, the original one is Andrew Scott, if I remember.
Oh, Alan Scott.
Yeah, when they brought it back with the Corps, the order was it was Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and then after that was Kyle Rayner, who I really love that one, and then the more recent one, Simon Baz. I haven't really gotten into that one.
Oh, everybody likes Simon.
Well, I found it weird that the one they chose this time actually was a car thief.
Yeah.
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 Weird how that one worked.
Yeah. It's still talking about superheroes. Who remember this guy?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh yes. I love that one.
Yeah. I showed a couple of episodes to Danielle. She enjoyed it at a certain point. It wasn't her cup of tea, but she knows about the tape.
Yeah, I mean, I think the episode I watched was actually a holiday episode where, a thief dressed up in a Santa Claus outfit, he gets hit by too much static electricity, and he's able to duplicate himself with clones and multiple Santas. Well, he's the only one who can talk. Everybody else is just going, ho, 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 ho. And the only way the Tick can stop him, just give him noogies. Yeah, it was that. Yeah, that show was wacky.
It was, and any other cartoons you remember, John?
None come to mind right now. No.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about Cowboys of New Mesa.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I vaguely remember that one. And here's one from the 90s I absolutely loved. I mean, not exactly in the superhero trend, but I still think it's worth watching. Mighty Max.
Oh yeah, I remember Mighty Max.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that was a cartoon that was so cool. Like girls have Polly Pocket, boys have Mighty Max.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not only that show also had what I considered one of the trinities of voice actors. You had Rob Paulson, Tony Jay, and Richard Mole.
Yeah. Oh, and you want to know who I like? You want to know what segments I like from Animaniacs? I like the whole good idea, bad idea.
Oh God. Yeah, it was
I was gonna say my favorite one is this. Good idea. Whistling while you work. Bad idea. Whistling while you eat.
Yes, that was my favorite one too.
Yeah.
But no, my favorite segment was with that kid who just comes out of his house. One time Randy Beeman's mom had a dream that she ate a big marshmallow and it was really good. And when she woke up, her pillow was gone because she ate it. Okay, bye.
Yeah. The little random kid.
Oh yeah. My favorite one
cracked me up.
My favorite one is this. Okay, one time Randy Beeman's dad, who was driving, then this guy came along. He told him he wanted to get it right. Randy Beeman's dad told him to get lost, and I never saw him again. Okay, bye.
Spooky, huh? Okay, bye. Oh boy, yeah, that kid cracked me up.
Or this one, it's mime time. Today on Mime Time, find a quarter on the street. Put your hands up!
Oh God, yes. The end.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so John, how is the Animaniacs today? Since it's on
There's a couple episodes so far. It's pretty good. They seem to have stripped down a lot of it. So like all of the side ones, like what we're talking about now, like Good Idea, Bad Idea, like Good Feathers, all those are gone. It's just Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs.
Oh,
No Slappy?
No, not yet anyway. So
Aw, man.
But it's just those two. And for what's there, it's pretty good, and they did a decent job at modernizing it, but it's just those two.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
course,
okay,
because-
I can understand that because the Warners and Pinky and the Brain were the most famous ones, but I liked some of the other ones in there. I mean, Buttons and Mindy was pretty hilarious. I mean, Rita and Runt was probably my least favorite one, even though it had its moments.
Yeah.
But just like what John said, no good feathers. I'm like, really?
No Good Feathers? Oh God, no.
And I don't know if it's something, maybe they can't get like the voice cast back, or they just didn't want to deal with it, or what. But they're gone for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Oh, and my other favorite is the hippos, the hippo couple. I like.
Oh, the hip.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite episode of them is when they did the whole Noah's Ark bit and they thought it was a cruise.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes, that was a funny one. Yeah, and Noah was basically modeled after stand-up comedian Richard Lewis, if I remember clearly.
Yeah, whatever happened to him? Where is he?
He's still around, I think. But you don't see him do much anymore. I mean, he doesn't really do stand-up that much anymore. But then again, who the hell does?
Right.
Everybody's too scared to do stand-up nowadays, which is upsetting.
And speaking of stand-up, who remembers old school Comedy Central?
Mm-hmm.
Early Daily Show and that kind of stuff. Back when they showed
Early
movies and all
Yeah, early Daily Show. The initial episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, I saw these guys on HBO, but I was happy when they got the reruns on Comedy Central, The Kids in the Hall. I love their shows.
Yes, they also got reruns of Kids in the Hall. They got reruns of Monty Python. They also introduced a pretty original one, which was another Kids in the Hall like show involving skit comedies. It was with four guys. The show was called The Vacant Lot.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah. I mean, it really didn't catch on as fast as everybody thought it would, but it was kind of sad because it actually had some good potential.
Yeah, and remember at 2 a.m. on Comedy Central, my dad introduced me to Benny Hill.
Nice.
Oh dear Lord, Benny Hill.
Why'd they put it on so late? Like, it seems like such an odd time slot for it.
Well,
Maybe because- I was gonna say,
they needed something to justify the TNA matinee slot. That's why.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe because Benny Hill has a lot of raunchy skits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people would not go. It wouldn't fly today, that's for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Benny Hill was perverted, but it was still funny.
Yep. So, what else? Oh yeah. All right. Golden age of gaming, just like what me and Tyler was talking about, and we got a little bit into gaming and with John. So we was talking about remember the rivalry, the Genesis versus the SNES.
Ooh, I remember. I remember.
Yeah, for me.
I had to do it.
Yeah, for me, I didn't know there was a rivalry going on. It's just that I wanted Genesis myself because there were some games that I enjoyed from the Genesis because I like some of the music from certain games that I enjoyed. But I really wanted a TurboGrafx 16, but we was a poor family, but so it was Super Nintendo, so that's what they got me, and I was grateful for it.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the things we talked about last time too. It's like there are certain systems like TurboGrafx, Neo Geo, Jaguar. Like, I don't know anyone that owned any of those at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they cost so much money. I imagine whoever does is very rich, or at least at that point in time was.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I didn't know anybody who owned a Neo Geo or. This is another weird one. The 3DO player from Panasonic.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know anybody who owned that one.
Same thing. Yeah. Like, I
Yeah,
knew it existed in magazines, but like I don't even remember seeing that in stores, to be honest.
yeah, and
Yeah, neither did I, for that matter.
yeah, same here. And also, I remember, I still remember the day when I went to Toys R Us and I put a little bit of Vector Man. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Genesis had a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, but sadly, Vector Man 1 and 2 never catch on with people. But I'm happy to find both of them at Freezing Geeks. Too bad Freezing Geeks had to close down, no thanks to the C virus.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucks. Our local store is open, but like ordering from them is a really weird ordeal. You have to like call them and know exactly what you want, and they either have it in stock or they don't. And then if they do, you have to ask what the price is because you don't know. And then I feel weird like being on the phone and just like not liking the price because it's like on one hand I want to support the business, on the other hand I don't want to pay $12 for a copy of Green Dog. So it's kind of a weird line to walk. So I haven't really been shopping, at our local place too much, but I'm hoping they're doing okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. Me and Danielle are trying to keep a game trade alive, but yeah, there are some retro titles over there that we want to get, but they're selling for an outrageous price, and we're like,
Well, yeah, I'm trying to keep my local game store, the Code, alive, and the other one I go to in Amarillo, known as Recycled Entertainment. And plus, they got a lot of good stuff in just recently. Heck, I didn't get this, but they have PS4 copies of Jak and Daxter, which were the limited run editions.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, and they go pretty pricey, which I really can't blame them with the price they're asking for because, limited run, you got to get it when the moment they announce it. Otherwise, good luck trying to find it on the open market after that.
Yeah, speaking of limited run, I gotta wait till next month or January to get my limited edition of Streets of Rage 4 that came with everything.
Hey, at least you managed to get it, so that's something to be happy about.
Yeah, they said it was supposed to come out in the fall of this year, but
I didn't know they pushed it back.
No, it's because of the pandemic and they lost.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I didn't know they pushed it back because of that.
And there were physical runs of Streets of Rage 4 for some reason. Yeah, the limited one got pushed a bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so the one that I got, it came with the statue, the stress ball chicken, the music CD. It came with a silver cartridge, a silver cartridge of the Sega Genesis of Streets of Rage 4, a case for it. Yeah, it came with a lot of neat stuff. So yeah, and they sent out a letter saying that we apologize for the Panther Dragon, Streets of Rage 4, Shantae. Yeah.
And their stuff takes a long time to begin with too. You'll pre-order something on limited run and then you'll get it like 6 months later if you're lucky. Like it might be even later than that.
They finally sent out a Shantae.
Yeah, I got mine like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, the games. You'll have to wait for a while. You'll have a better chance getting one of the vinyl records. They sell really fast,
right? Well, and speaking of vinyl, I got this for a good price. I like Beck.
Oh, cool.
Ooh. Very cool.
It's called this album is called Hyperspace.
Nice.
Yeah. And there are a couple of things I got from Limited Run. It's the limited run edition of Luminous Remastered. I got the game that came with the vinyl, and I got River City Girls, and I got Freedom Planet.
Good set of games.
Cool.
Yep. And what else? So, what were your favorite moments during the golden age of gaming, John?
Okay. Well, there's so much to cover in the 90s. I think one of the more interesting things is like Nintendo has kind of the same strategy for the Game Boy as they do with the Switch, where they're going to sell something that's a little bit underpowered. It's not really, like the best technology, but then they're going to support it with really good games.
Right.
So at the time it was like Tetris, and then that lasted for a good long time. And then towards the end of the 90s, the Game Boy was kind of tapering, so they're going to come out with a color one. And then they came out with Pokemon, and that just breathed more life into it and just, had this whole new surge of Game Boys. And the Switch is the same thing, where like it can't play games like, Resident Evil 7 or things like that, but they're like, here's a Zelda game, here's Smash Brothers, here's an Animal Crossing game, and here's Mario Kart, and that's enough to get people to buy it. So I think it's interesting that one system was able to fend off like all the other competition for that whole decade. With like, the Game Gear was cool, but it just wasn't competing.
Right. Yeah, and the game that I always played during the early 90s was Double Dragon on the NES. Yes, it was a fun game, but it's kind of disappointing because you could only it wasn't 2 players simultaneously. You had to take turns, and I'm like,
Yeah, and there's like 2-player versus, which is kind of a weird choice. It's like you can play 2 players, but only on like a weird little versus thing. You can't actually play together, which is kind of the whole point. So
yeah, Double Dragon 2 came out. Yeah, it was fun, but gee, like why more platforming? You never asked for platforming.
Yeah, that is awkward.
Yeah, no kidding.
Those are tough, those platforming sections.
Mm-hmm. And same question to you, Tyler.
Well, I just miss the old days of going to an arcade.
Yes. I know, right?
Yeah, and I remember another thing that was kind of a golden age for us. We had this little one that was just right behind a laundromat where I used to live at in Utah. We would actually go over there. I mean, there'd be a billiard set in the middle, and then there'd be a lot of cool games to play. I mean, let's see. Yes, MK was the big staple for fighting, and Street Fighter was in there. What else was in there? We also had, oh yes, one of my all-time favorite shooters from Konami, Sunset Riders.
Oh, you're nice.
Yes.
Oh
boy, that game was a quarter sucker, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, and also, in my favorite times in the arcade, I love playing this one arcade called Rastan. That was a quarter muncher for me.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah, I mean, it brings me up to this something. I mean, arcades have kind of gone downhill due to the advent of online gaming. I mean, yeah, it's cool you can communicate and play with people online, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel like it has the nuance of playing with somebody in an arcade, or even just 2 people with 2 controllers sitting next together playing a versus mode on a TV.
Yeah, I miss like couch co-op. Like we used to play GoldenEye a lot. We had like the 4-screen split, and no one could pick Oddjob because he's an asshole. And,
nobody picked Oddjob.
And we have like the goofy setups where it's like knives only, or things like that, just for fun.
Yeah, and here was one of my favorite split screens with me and 3 of my friends, Wave Race 64.
Oh boy, yes, I love Wave Race, and another one that was a staple for me on the 4 split screens one was the spiritual successor to GoldenEye, Perfect Dark.
Oh, Perfect Dark is amazing.
Oh yes, I love Perfect Dark. Was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but if you don't have that expansion pack, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Well, you can still play multiplayer without the expansion pack.
Yeah, I know, but some people want to. If there are no friends over at your house, you want to play the story, but you can't because expansion pack.
Yeah, that kind of sucked butt about it. I mean, fortunately, when I went back during the advent of video stores, the one I was at, you could rent an expansion pack if you wanted.
It's nice to give you the option. Yeah, a lot of places didn't even have that. They're like, you either own it or you don't, or they put a little sticker on it saying you need it. Like Donkey Kong 64 won't play without the expansion pack. So if you don't have it, don't rent it, because you're just going to come back an hour later and complain. So.
Well, yeah, if I was not, I think it was a Banjo-Tooie. It wouldn't play without the expansion pack either.
And Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but Majora's Mask was a chore to play for me. Yeesh.
It was. I mean, I just tell everybody this. I do consider that one of my all time favorite games in the Zelda series, and I do recommend it. However, if you're new to the series, don't pick this as your initial Zelda title because it's going to overwhelm you if you do.
Oh yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Especially that water temple boss named George or George. Mm,
Georg, I don't know.
mm.
Yeah, the one that goes Benjamin Buttons at the end.
Yeah, and so with that out of the way, here comes a good topic for everybody. Yeah, me and Tyler was talking about is thanks to this one YouTuber he watched. What was his name again?
Imp Lemon.
Yeah, yeah. Like, just want to let y'all know. Do y'all think today's gaming is going downhill in your opinion, or
In a lot of ways, yes.
yeah, like was it like the early or late 2000s was a good year for you, or
Well, the
today?
early 2000s was a great decade for gaming. To me, it was.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I agree. I mean, everything was really good. Like the Xbox PS2 era was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I think it's harder just to play games now. I mean, it's more involved. It's more annoying. You have to wait for downloads. A lot of times there's day one patches. A lot of times those don't work. Even on the Switch where you don't have that, there's games like that Borderlands collection that'll fill up your whole SD card. And so like you buy one thing, and now the whole thing is full again. It's just it was a simpler time to sound like an old man when you could go back, you just pop your game in, you put in your memory card, and it just worked. And
Mm-hmm.
and at that point in time, like things were detailed enough where you could tell what everything was, and it was pretty good. They had some decent music, but it wasn't like kind of over the top, and it wasn't too simple. It was just kind of good enough, like just
Yeah,
at that baseline. I think that's like where I think graphics are kind of like just fine enough. You could tell what everything is, and it's still
Mm-hmm.
decent.
yeah.
Man, John, the way you bring that, yeah, John, the way you bring this up, it makes us feel like old man. Oh,
I feel
back in my day.
you take the cart, you put
Yeah,
the cart in, the cart
yeah,
works.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
updates. Because
yeah.
that's the
So
thing I'm
yeah,
worried about. It's like when
right, yeah. Back in my day, it was like that.
there aren't pirate servers to like back up all the stuff on our PlayStation 4s and all these like day one updates and things like that, they're going to be useless. Like I don't know what I'm
Oh
going to do
yeah,
with this for in like 10 years. It's not like now where you could do like retro gaming
yeah,
and have like a Sega and just put in the game and play it.
yeah, and
yeah. I mean, that's why I'm actually just gonna keep my PS4 because I mean, even though there's gonna be no connections for it probably 10 years from now, I mean, hey, at least I have everything uploaded on it that I need for it. So, well,
yeah, me too, and I just love back in the simpler times. Yes, it was just great. Just put in your cartridge of your favorite game, turn on the power. There it is. There it is.
yep, there it is. I
And
mean,
and and what gets me is like for today's gaming, you got yourself a new game. You gotta wait for the disc to copy it. Then you have to wait for the update and everything. You be like,
uh-huh. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, what the heck am I gonna do? Jeez. Yeah.
especially that Hot 76 big old patch. Like,
Oh
ooh,
God. Well,
ooh.
yeah. Okay, here's a good way of putting it. With all the time I waited just to update some games or just download the regular stuff for it, I had so much time to kill. I actually worried about my front lawn. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
actually just searching around. I was like, what the heck? Is there crabgrass out here? Is it done yet? Jeez.
yeah. I cut the front and backyard of my house, and then when I came back, it was finally done. I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's funny. Like I think that's one of the things I'm worried about with this new generation. Like they did make it so that things can install and download faster, but
Hmm.
also you still have limited storage, and the games are getting exponentially bigger. And even at launch, the games like Call of Duty is huge.
of course
Yeah,
it is. It's Call of Duty because everybody just play
You
it
can
for the
shove
multi.
out your games. You have
Yeah,
room for like 5 games. What 5 games do you want on your system?
yeah. I mean, that's another thing that kind of upsets me about this current decade of games. I mean, early 2000s, the games that were released on disc, I mean, they felt like they were being released in a complete package. Like you didn't have to wait for patches. You didn't need microtransactions or anything like that. I mean, I really miss those days.
Yeah, no DLC. You got a fighting game. The whole roster was on the disc, and that's it. There's no other character.
Yeah, and so many companies are pretty much taking advantage of that whole situation. EA.
Well, yeah, they've been at that for at least a decade.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, EA was a respectable company because I love SSX series.
Well, yes, the EA Sports big titles, I think that was their last golden moment right there. I mean, and then everything after that, I'm like going, ugh, you guys suck. Jeez.
Yeah, they did something weird in like 2008 where they just came out with all these really good games. They had like Mirror's Edge and Dragon Age and like new IPs, and then they just went back to their old ways. So I don't know what happened.
Oh,
but
yeah, I remember they also released Dead Space around that same time, which was one of my favorite survival horror games of that decade.
It was just this crazy good year, and then I was like, oh, maybe EA's getting good again, and then they just went back to the way they were. Like,
Yeah, they started going downhill fast. I mean,
Yeah,
and what was sad is the stuff they were doing to pull themselves out of the hole. I mean, it's one of those moments at first you say, oh, you guys were doing so well. And now here we are about 10 years later. Anytime they mess up, and I'm like going, well, looks like you screwed up, didn't you, EA?
yeah, because remember the Star Wars Battlefront 2 debacle?
So that was
Oh, boy.
right where you had, if you wanted to play as Luke Skywalker, you either pay them more money or play for like 80 hours or something like that.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
and what gets me is that some of my friends that are hardcore Star Wars fans, they're still mad at EA for what they did to Star Wars 1313. They're still mad at them.
oh God. It makes me even more upset because Amy Hennig was involved in the project around when EA canned it. I'm like going, why? Why do you do this to a storyteller I respect in gaming? I mean, this is the woman who created Uncharted and Legacy of Kain, and you actually just kick her ass to the side when she's in the middle of making this Star Wars game. I'm like going, God damn it.
Yeah, I'm surprised Disney still lets them handle the license, because usually Disney's pretty protective of their stuff, and if there's a lot of negativity around it, they're just like, no, someone else can do that, you know.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I was gonna say, Jedi Fallen Order was good, but EA didn't like that because they still wanted to try to put in microtransactions into it, and the House of Mouse says no. If you do that again, we're taking the IP away from you.
uh-huh. And with all this, you've heard a lot of people get outraged on the microtransactions, especially the loot box system that came with Battlefront 2. Like they're saying this is a form of kids gambling. Well, I can recall there was another form of gambling for kids back in the 90s. You probably remember this, the ultimate gaming rig thing that is involved with a little crossword puzzle that you'd find in a magazine ad. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I never did those, but I remember seeing them all the time and like
Yeah.
comics and stuff.
Yeah, and apparently anytime somebody who was a grand prize winner, the person who was actually doing this actually filed for bankruptcy, and the person did not get prizes for it.
Wow.
As
like a kid, it kind of felt like a scam, so I'm not that surprised. But
well, yeah, it always did. I mean, well, one guy who covered this on YouTube is somebody I've been watching for a while, Justin Wayne.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
He covered that one.
Oh yeah. I seen that video. I seen it. Yeah, and I saw 2 videos of Young Year. I hope I pronounced his name right.
Young, yeah, I actually like him. I mean,
Yeah.
I got to him because he was covering Ghost of Tsushima the most, and I loved what he had to say about it.
Yeah, and I was gonna say this. Yeah, and he's still talking about what happened to Marvel's Avengers, and I'm like,
Oh God, I can't believe the sales for that tanked as bad as it did. You don't know what really breaks my heart about that?
What?
Crystal Dynamics developed it.
yeah.
I can't.
But in his video, I was gonna say in his video, he talked about like this is not Crystal Dynamics' fault. It's those it's those people who wanted microtransactions and everything in the game. Like back at E3, they said they wanted to make this into a story driven game, but the higher ups said no, put money in, put make it a service game.
Yeah,
It
and you
definitely
know
seems
you
to
want
be marketed too, especially with like the faces where they showed everyone looking like the movies, and they're like, no, they don't look like the movie characters. They look like comic characters. They look different. So like
Mhm.
all the models
Mhm.
changed. Everyone kind of looked at it like, okay, that's weird, you know. But I don't think they knew
yeah.
what they wanted, to be honest. I think they just kept changing it to the point where there's no way a good game could come out, you know.
Yeah, and you want to know what really chaps my hide about it? They actually put a cease and desist on a third Deus Ex game in favor of this.
Really.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean they put right after Mankind Divided came out. I mean, that was an amazing game, by the way, but it just didn't exceed the sales they were hoping for. So they put it on hold to make way for whatever Marvel wanted. And well, this is what Square Enix does for Marvel. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, Insomniac Games put in a better effort than Square Enix did.
yeah, and also I think 2 months ago, Young Year, I saw a video of him and Rocksteady was trying to make a Superman game, but DC said no, and that made me just slam my head through a wall. I was like, ah!
Oh God! Another thing that slammed my head about a wall is there was actually a canceled animated series for Superman being done by Getty Tartakovsky, the creator of Samurai Jack.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
I saw
Yeah.
that and I'm like going, yeah. When I found this out, I'm like going, are you kidding me? You passed over a Superman series created by Getty Tartakovsky. How and why?
Batman, that's why. Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his initial answer to it.
I got nothing against Batman, but it just like give the other heroes a chance, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm with you on that. Look, I love Batman, but he gets too much glory these days. I mean, same problem I have with Marvel. I love Wolverine, but he gets too much attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Marvel, yes, I'm happy that they got the rights from the fact they got the rights of Fantastic Four and X-Men, but they're still not doing anything to them. I'm like,
I know.
There's a lot of potential.
Uh-huh.
Well, I
yeah,
feel like going forward, we're going to see more projects like the Avengers, unfortunately, where there's just like these big companies that can't get their act together. Because games cost so much to develop now, they're just, if they keep shifting targets like this, it's just going to keep happening.
yeah,
So I personally go towards like indie games because those are more like the older games where they just work and they're just easy and they're small and they just, you know, there's not a lot
Well,
to
yeah.
them. These big projects that get off the rails and then like they keep getting pushed back over and over and over again, and then they come out like a year and a half later as like a complete Frankenstein of what they started out as.
Duke New Forever.
That's the ultimate
Yeah.
example, you know, like that one, that was in development hell forever.
Yeah, and before we get on a new topic, I just want to say this. Oh my goodness, it just boggles my mind that I fell into the hype of the Avengers. Like I saw my friend playing the beta of it. He said it's pretty good, but when I finally played it, like the story was okay. But after you play the campaign, like what else you do? Oh wait, microtransactions, and you want to get all the cool stuff for your character. Play online.
Oh man.
Mm. It's just. Mm. Mm.
I think I'm going to become a full-time retro gamer if it keeps going like this, honestly.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy. I'm at a point where I'm just gonna go back to my classics. So
I
Yeah,
got
me
enough old
too.
games.
Yeah, me too. And speaking of classics, Matt McMuscles, he played a little bit of my personal favorite of the Onimusha series, Dawn of Dreams. Like everybody keep on saying like this is the game that killed the franchise. I'm like, y'all just never gave this game a chance.
well, yeah, I mean, well, I actually love Dawn of Dreams. In fact, I'm still playing a cosplay group for that at some point. I mean, I think the problem that it suffered from is the fact that look, it's really hard to come after a masterpiece that was Onimusha 3.
Yeah.
it's really hard to do that. It's really hard to follow up after that. And I mean, I still consider Onimusha 3 to be the best in the series. I mean, and Onimusha 2, some people have considered that their favorite. I mean, that's my least favorite in the series, but this is still a case where my least favorite game still put in a great effort.
Yeah, yeah, and speaking of games, I just can't wait till next month because me and John was talking, and we are trying to do a show about our thoughts about this year's video game awards because when I saw the nominations, I said to myself, I hope they give Ghost of Tsushima a trophy because it deserved it. It was amazing.
I want to say this about it. The results of the Game Awards this year, it better not be anything like the debacle I'm seeing with the recent Golden Joystick Awards that just happened.
What?
Yeah, they handed almost everything to Last of Us Part 2, even go as far as to give it the title of Ultimate Game of the Year. I'm like going, and they also gave Naughty Dog Studio of the Year. I'm like going, are you kidding me? I mean, the shady practices they've been doing throughout the development of this. I mean, I think Sucker Punch is more deserving of getting Studio of the Year. I mean, because look at how user-friendly they've been, consumer-friendly they've been with Ghost of Tsushima throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what like award shows in general. I don't put a lot of stock into them because it's almost like
I don't either.
The current gaming websites where like the video game awards are decided by like 80 or 90 different publications, like websites about games, who have ads on them from companies like Ubisoft and have ads from Naughty Dog. They have ads from a lot of these same games. So there's like a huge conflict of interest. So we could talk about who they picked, but I don't really care if they picked the right one or not because I don't think they're unbiased, like at all.
Yeah, that is true.
We even had a thing on their website about one of the FAQs is like, why don't we let the fans choose who the winner is? And they're like, well, different systems have different install bases. So, one system that has a huge install base might have more people vote for one game than another one that doesn't. And it's like, I get that. Why not then just split it up by platform? Like, it's like there's ways around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can agree with this. That would actually help a little bit.
Money, they're getting paid and they're going to do whatever the people that pay them want. So.
Well, and this is kind of what I'm hoping for. I mean, they should have a different category where they should have two different Game of the Year ones. One's that's that the publications would give out, and one that just a simple common player's choice based off of audience reactions. I haven't seen that in a while.
Right.
Like cultural relevance, it's not really taken into account. So like Hades is one of them. But Hades was in like development, and you could play it in development for like 2 years, and it just came out this year. But like Among Us is the same way, or Among Us was out for a few years, but that's actually having like a year this year. And that's something that's like really relevant, even though it's been out for a long time and it's not even in the running. So,
Well, yeah. And I mean, and of course you mentioned Hades. I mean, I didn't even know about this game until recently. And there's a lot of game of the year awards they keep giving to something. Like, for example, at the last one, I never even knew about the game Control until the Game Awards announced it.
Oh yeah, like I just picked up a copy. I haven't even played it yet, but yeah, that was I think.
Well, yeah, I haven't really heard anything bad about that one. And,
no, I was gonna say, let me tell you something. I picked it up, and my God, me and Danielle was blown away because we love the art style and everything we do. The surroundings, and oh my goodness, it was fun. I just don't know why people slept on this. It was cool.
Now I'm excited.
No, and just to let you know on something, John. I'm gonna let you know on this. When you get to a certain spot, there is a rock song on there, and it will make your head bob. Good.
I like your use of soundtrack. That's awesome.
Yeah, because and what's cool about it is that the Alan Wake universe is a part of it.
Cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh man, Adam Wake. That was a game that went through production hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and excuse me. Yeah, it's part of the two DLCs. First one is I forgot what it's called. Yeah, the Foundation, and the second one is AWE.
Uh-huh.
So the second one is where you will see Alan Wake.
Cool.
But yeah,
Uh-huh.
but John, let me tell you, when you get to control, you'll be surprised how amazing it is. Because Remedy put a lot of work in this game.
Yeah, it looks really cool. That's why I picked it up. But I like having good games in my
Yeah.
backlog and then just knowing that they're there. Like I don't have to play it right away. I just know that I have it, and then when I have time, I have something good I can just sink into on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night randomly. You know?
Yeah, and also,
Yeah, I mean, when I get a chance, yeah, when I get a chance, I'll pick up a copy of it too. Like I said, I mean, I haven't heard anybody say anything bad about it, and based on what you're telling me, Ed, okay, yeah, I'll get it.
yeah, because you can upgrade your gun. You can upgrade. Yeah, you start off as a pistol, right? But you can upgrade it to like a machine gun, a shotgun, a charge up gun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and also later next month, uh, if you want to be a part of this, Tyler, me and John are gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about our personal favorite games of 2020. Yeah, we know 2020 was a shit show, but at least we had some games to play.
Well, yeah, at least I did something to keep me busy, and plus, I mean, I got around to a few other things. Like for example, I did finally get around to playing Spider-Man release. I know it was released 2 years ago, but the thing was this. I mean, I did buy that collector's edition when it came out. However, I gave it to my nephew for Christmas. I never played it myself. Why? Well, because he's a bigger fan of Spider-Man than I am. I know he's going to want it even more. So I said, okay, hell with it. I'm going to give this to him. He wants it even more than I ever could. And I'll eventually play this at some point. And finally got around to playing it this summer.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
Yeah,
still haven't played it yet. Like it's on my list. It's one I want to pick up at some point, but I'm actually more interested in Miles Morales now. I would play that first, but they both look really good.
Yeah, and I honestly think the PS4 game and Into the Spider-Verse, I think it's actually fixed Miles Morales pretty high.
yeah, and the ending of Miles Morales, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I was like, I said on my social media, like I said this, he's coming, he's coming.
I think I already know where you're going with it.
Because
I ain't gonna say it on here though.
yeah, because I didn't know that the story of Marvel Spider-Man was carried over to Miles Morales. Like oh, now I see why this game was $49. I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's cheap to
Yeah.
get. It's cheap to get, but unlocking some of those costumes for Miles, they were fun. They were fun.
Yeah, you showed me the version of Spider-Man 2099 that he gets. I'm like going, ooh, I love it.
Yeah, his eyes were smoking. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah,
that they put effort in costumes and not just like real cheap skins, like changing the colors and stuff. They actually like have detail and effects like that. That's
yeah,
cool.
they have it detailed and gave some of they gave some of the new costumes perks too and everything. I was like, wow. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what are y'all favorite games of 2020 for next for next month because the gaming of 2020 is almost coming to a close and oh boy, y'all remember that other you remember have y'all seen that letter from Project Project C, the people who's making Cyberpunk 2027 2077 when they made that other letter to the fans. I was like, again.
See,
Oh
that's why I
boy,
didn't
yeah,
play
here
on
we
that.
go again.
I think like they have a good reputation and they make a lot of really good games, but at the same time,
Mhm.
like I've seen almost no cyberpunk footage aside from like what little bits and pieces they show.
Mhm.
And having all these delays doesn't give me a lot of faith. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I
Well,
do
Yeah,
feel bad
and
for
yeah,
the devs though, because they're getting crunched like crazy.
yeah,
well,
and
yeah. I
I
mean, the only thing I've really seen from it is, well, the promotional stuff with Keanu, of course. I mean, all I've really seen is probably just one walkthrough for one room and just a customization screen. That's it.
yeah, and my thing about this, like, why are you letting people customize their character knowing that it's gonna be in first person view through the whole game. I'm like, why? What's the
It is a
point?
weird choice. Yeah.
Like,
Well, who knows? Maybe it'll actually turn into an over-the-shoulder cover the system like Deus Ex did. Well, don't quote me on that one.
yeah,
I just wonder what's going to happen with its development, because if it got to the point where it went gold, and then they're like, all right, we're almost ready to release, and then they pushed it again because, whatever reason, and they're bug
Oh,
fixing now.
man.
But I thought the whole
Yeah.
point of going gold meant they're ready to like start pressing discs and get it out to the public. But I guess that's not it. Maybe it's a day one patch. Maybe they're already like pressing it, and then still, maybe there'll be like a massive like 3 hour long batch to download.
yeah, but
Well, I'm still wishing them luck on this.
Me too.
yeah,
I want it to be good. I really do. But I think it's going to be like GTA 5 on like the last gen systems, where like it runs and it's okay, but it takes a long time to install and it's not as good as the new ones.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah, and also, I'm not trying to say this game is gonna flop. I just hope they keep their promise because two of my friends pre-ordered this game. I just don't want
Oh,
to see them.
man.
I just don't want to see them get ripped off.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either.
That's the thing. Every time there's a new game, I want people to be happy, but there's always the same cycle where people like overhype it to the point where like their expectations are so high it'll never live up to them. And then it comes out and they love it for like 2 weeks, but then the shine wears off, and then they start to like notice flaws and look at it objectively. And then they hate it 2 weeks later and they're talking crap about it, and then they forget about it and move on to the next game. So like I don't want that to happen with this, but it happens with almost every major release, and I could totally see it happening.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I've seen it happen one too many times myself. So
yeah, and it's sad, and it's really, really sad. But this is why I stopped paying attention to AAA titles because they're overhyping it, knowing that something like this is going to happen. This is why I give my attention to the single A and double A games because I've been having fun playing the E series again. I've been playing Kawasaki Jet Girls. Please
Oh
don't.
yeah, the jet ski game with the water guns, that game's fun.
Yeah, I told everybody just
oh
don't,
yeah, I
don't
remember
judge
that
me.
one.
I want more jet ski games with combat elements. That was a brilliant idea. Like I think it's way too easy, and I wish they could have like made it a little bit harder. But the idea behind it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I've been going back to playing Injustice 1 and 2 because yes, I was happy to see Rambo in Mortal Kombat 11, but you want to know what got me off the Mortal Kombat 11 train is that look what they did to the aftermath story. I was like, of course. Of course
Oh
they did that.
yeah.
Hmm. I was like, why y'all did that? Why y'all made Sindel into a gold digger? Like, really?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
Yeah, well, then again, I mean, it was kind of hard for them to come off of MKX. I thought that was the best one they did yet.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
yeah, but that ending, oh my goodness, seeing Raiden become a badass, like, jeez.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, and before we leave off, yeah, you told yesterday was support your favorite small business people, and I went to an Urban Legend Comics, and so I always support them, man. I got this from them.
Oh, cool.
What it is
Nice.
like all of these posters that this guy made.
Nice.
That's really cool.
And yeah, my Black Friday was I just did my Black Friday on my Nintendo Switch and PS4. And so
Yeah. Didn't really do the Black Friday thing this year, but yeah, I did the Small Business Saturday.
yeah, that's what it's called, Small Business Saturday. Yeah, because I always like to support.
Mhm.
I like to support Urban Legend Comics because I always find my favorite comics from the 90's in their store.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Cool.
so yeah, and well, I'm looking forward to next month with both y'all to see what y'all picks for your favorite games for 2020.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah. Oh, you want to see what I got on Saturday too?
What?
Okay, well, I actually did go to the local mom and pop's gaming store in Amarillo called Recycled Entertainment, and they had a deal where each game I got was only $5, and here's what I got: Genesis copy of NBA Jam.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yes, that's a classic. And need to expand my PSP collection. I found Killzone Liberation.
Another good one.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, okay, this is the only game I've seen that doesn't have the first person perspective. But yeah, it plays pretty good. And then found this one game that helped Quantic Dream break out, Indigo Prophecy.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is before. I mean, the games they did after this. Heavy Rain was good, but I never really got into Detroit Become Human. And of course, you know, we've been talking a little bit about Sucker Punch a lot with Ghost of Tsushima. So guess what? I found a black label of this bad boy.
Nice.
Yes, I will not turn down Sly Cooper.
Hey, before we leave, Tyler, did you complete Ghost of Tsushima?
I did.
Did you get the hidden armor?
Oh boy, which hidden arm? Oh, you mean the Hot Springs one?
Yeah, where it's Sly Cooper colors.
Oh, that one. That involves changing the colors with the armor of Gozaku. Yes,
Yeah.
I did get that one.
Cool.
I love that. I really love that every single game that Sucker Punch does, they have to make a reference to Sly Cooper in some form. I'm like, I don't blame them. I mean, that series helped them break out.
Yeah,
In fact, look,
but
that's how big of a fan of Sly I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
So
that one was the last one we got. That like Sly in Time.
yeah.
Oh, actually, no, Sucker Punch didn't do that one.
We did.
Oh.
Yeah, that was done by a different development team. They only did the Sly trilogy, and they didn't do Sly 4 because they were busy with Infamous at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I love the Infamous series.
what you say, John?
Infamous. It's another series that just came and went. Like it was great on PS3, and then it just kind of went away.
I know.
Oh, speaking of Infamous, I got something else. This came in the mail for me. This is actually a physical copy of the DLC for First Light.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, the problem this suffers from, no physical copies were made here stateside. I mean, this is a PAL region copy, and you know, I'm one of those people who thinks physical media is important. So
Well, it is.
Yeah.
absolutely.
When the servers are gone, we're screwed. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here we
I
go.
mean, that's why I'm a physical media hoarder. So there.
Yeah, me too, because you see my collection. So, but yeah, I am looking forward to it next month, and I hope y'all enjoyed this new episode, and I had fun with you both all the time, and just everything to see what y'all have in store for us next month.
Oh yes.
Fun. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me too.
Well, as always, back to is your boy Lex alongside with John and Tyler Touchdown. Until then, stay safe out there. Later.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.